Another standout performer was number 42, Chris Warren, who was the only player to finish in the AFC's top 5 for both punt and kickoff returns in each of the last 2 years.
Running up is Warren as he glides up to the 41, makes the catch, now tries to peel back. One man misses him, he's all the way back to the 33, now turns up the right sideline, down the sideline, he goes to the 40, down to the 30, one man to beat at the 20, stumbling to the 10, touchdown Seahawks! Warren takes it in!
Unheralded but important contributions also came from his words, sacrificing himself so that emerging star Chris Warren, number 42, could succeed in his first season as Seattle's feature running back. After 2 years of service as one of the NFL's top kick returners, Warren got the chance to prove he was a man of many talents.
From day one in training camp, I was listed as the number 1 tailback, and that made me feel good because I'd worked hard my 2 previous years before this year. Finally I got the chance this year, and I just had it set in my mind that once I got the position, I wouldn't lose it. A lot of teams underestimate my speed because they don't think a guy my size can run as fast as I can. Then I can break a lot of tackles also.
Give it to Warren, who breaks straight ahead, a little bit of a crease across the 40, 45, breaks a tackle. He's in open field at the 40, being chased, he gets to the 30, at the 20, brought down near the 15-yard line. Chris Warren with an electrifying run to
Chris is a very powerful and deceptively fast type of football player, and that's what he gives you. He's got tremendous abilities, and I think he's just a puppy, just starting to learn.
In 1992, Chris Warren learned well and rocketed to the head of his class.
Long count by Gilbaugh, turns and gives to Warren at the 30, cuts left, 25, 20, may go, 10, 5, touchdown, Chris Warren!
Chris Warren, only the second player in Seahawks history to rush for 1,000 yards. For the first time ever, the Seahawks led the AFC in rushing, and the point man of the ground attack was Chris Warren. In his second season as a starter, Warren earned a trip to the Pro Bowl by displaying running and receiving talents that few big backs in the NFL could ever hope to duplicate. In a win at New England, he set a new team record for carries in a game, along with a personal best 174 rushing yards and the game-clinching score.
Gilbaugh gives to Warren at the 15, 10, at the 5, Chris Warren, touchdown, Seahawks!
Despite an abdominal injury that kept him out of the season's final 2 games, Chris still finished third among all conference rushers by gaining 1,000 yards for the second straight year.
Pitch to Warren around the left side, gets a block, 45, 40, leaps over a man, 35, inside the 30, Warren is gone, touchdown Seahawks! Chris Warren looking tough today.
Seattle used more traditional blocking schemes to run over the Redskins on opening day. Relying on what would become the foundation of their attack, the Seahawks racked up nearly 200 yards rushing, and Chris Warren had the first of a team record 7 100-yard days. Two touchdowns by Warren and a TD pass, with the running game taking a backseat to the passing game. Warren did not get to the century mark, but he brought his season touchdown total to 4 6-pointers in 2 games, scoring once on the ground and once through the air.
Screens it to Warren at the 40, 35, 30, gets a block, 25, breaks away, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
In a total team effort, Chris Warren picked up 126 yards on the ground and scored his 5th touchdown of the year. With Mix in the blocking of tight ends Ferrell Edmonds and Paul Green, and fullbacks Tracy Johnson and Steve Smith, number 35. And the recipe bakes up into the second-best rushing attack in the NFL, averaging over 130 yards a game. The most obvious beneficiary was running back Chris Warren, who led the AFC in rushing and set a team record with 1,545 yards.
Meyer play fakes, looks down the middle, fires to Warren, touchdown, Seahawks.
But with less than 3.5 minutes. The following week in Houston, Rick Meyer, injured in the Colt game, was missing. So Seattle turned to the one man who could carry them.
Pitch to Warren around the left side, cuts back at the 35 to the 30, breaks a tackle, 20, 15, 10. Chris Warren is tripped up and knocked out of bounds, or was he? No, a touchdown.
Chris Warren turned in the best rushing performance in the AFC in 1994 by totaling 185 yards. The team had a league-best 266 yards rushing as the Seahawks beat the Oilers and earned their 6th and final win of the season. Chris Warren had plenty of reason to smile in 1994. The fifth-year running back played in the Pro Bowl, led the conference in rushing, and became just the 28th player ever to compile 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
McGuire gives to Warren, got a hole, 30, 25, Warren cuts it outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Chris Warren. Warren goes 33 yards as he cut it back from right to left, and they weren't going to get it. But Chris Warren does it again. He is the guy on this offense. There's no question about it. Put the weight of the team on his shoulders, and he's going to carry him.
And he has carried it in every way possible. This play made him the first Seahawks player ever to have a reception, run from scrimmage, punt, and kickoff return of over 50 yards. In addition to his team record 1,545 yards rushing, Warren added over 300 yards on receptions to lead the AFC in total yards and break Kurt Warner's team record. In 1994, Chris Warren finished second to Barry Sanders in average per carry and 100-yard performances. And he shares another important attribute with the Lions' great runner. He simply refuses to go down without a fight. Chris Warren was named the team's most valuable player in 1994. But he and every Seahawk realizes that while individual accomplishments are nice, they are the result of the efforts of every player on the team and are achieved because of a common goal: winning.
We do have to worry about winning, and we have to do the right things in the off season and on the field to win, and I expect that from them.
By running back Chris Warren.
Give to Warren, leaps over the top. Warren, touchdown, Seahawks. Quick snap, give to Warren at the 5. Chris, touchdown, Seahawks. Warren broke the plane for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the afternoon.
In 1995, Warren became the first Seahawk to be named a team MVP in consecutive seasons. He gained 1,000+ yards on the ground for the 4th straight time. Finished second only to the Cowboys' Emmitt Smith in rushing touchdowns and earned his first ever start in the Pro Bowl.
Give to Warren on the drop. Finds an opening. 25, 20. Warren to the 15, down to the 10. Touchdown, Seahawks, Chris Warren. He goes 29 yards right up the middle.
In a year when the Seahawks offense enjoyed their greatest scoring and yardage productivity in nearly a decade, the centerpiece of their attack indisputably remained Chris Warren.
This guy just powers through people, and those that he can't run through, he runs around with his great speed. The second leading rusher in the AFC, but you couldn't tell anybody that in the kingdom. This guy is the best running back in all of football for what he can do, at least to the folks in the Northwest. And I'm talking about Barry Sanders and the rest.
But with reserve quarterback John Freeze leading the way, Seattle's offense erupted to mount the greatest comeback in franchise history.
Here's the give to Warren in the middle. Finds the hole. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren. Good play call upstairs. 3rd and 3. And Warren just runs right by everybody for 6. 57 seconds left to go in the game. Freeze looks. He dumps it to Warren. Wide open 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren. Unbelievable. 70,000 people absolutely stunned at Mile High Stadium.
The game represented the season in microcosm. Left for dead, Seattle had rallied against overwhelming odds to prevail in the end.
Freeze will give to Warren off the left side, cuts it back to the middle. Chris spins to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren. There are Oakland Raider defenders just standing around looking at each other. 5 or 6 of them had a shot at Chris Warren.
In a decade were provided by Chris Warren.
Pitch to Warner on the left side. Gets one block. Chris is going to cut back down to his right. Gets to 35-30. Warren to the 25-20. Chris Warren, touchdown, Seahawks!
Seattle also obtained offensive line help for Chris Warren and company in the college draft when they made Boston College's Pete Kendall their first-round selection. Chris Warren, Seattle's running game rushed for more than 200 yards in their highest output of the season, as the Seahawks cruised to their first home victory of 1996.
Warren finds an opening to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. He'll dance into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks, Chris Warren.
War number 42.
Taking no prisoners. Taking all comers.
Get in line.
Sir.
Despite missing 2 full games and substantial chunks of 3 others, Chris Warren was still one of the league's most effective ground-gaining weapons. Chris led the team in rushing for the 5th straight season. He broke off the longest touchdown run of his career and now has more 100-yard games than any other ball carrier in Seahawks history.
Warren on the drop, busted through at the 35-30, breaks the tackle. He's gone. Chris Warren, touchdown Seahawks. He got free at about the 25-yard line, and when Chris Warren does that in the open field, there aren't many players who are going to catch him.
Seattle's other big playmaker was constantly inventing new ways.
It was a record-setting season for Chris Warren. Warren set a team standard by leading the club in rushing for the 6th straight year, and he passed Kurt Warner to become the franchise's all-time leading ball carrier. But when it came to ignite in Raider history,
The handoff to Chris Warren at the 10-yard line, spins down to the 5, Chris to the goal line, he's in, touchdown Seahawks, Chris Warren.
in the closing moments, it was left for the special.
Over Maryland, just outside the district. Oh yeah, the Hogs came over from old RFK. This is the 5th year for this facility.
They're now called lobbyists, though.
From the 24-yard line, Cunningham drops the snap, picks it up, airs it out, wide open, a blown coverage. Chris Warren, nobody home defensively, touchdown. How about that? A fumbled snap, Randall picks it up, goes back, gets protected, and it's 76 yards for a touchdown.
Now, Dennis, I know you worked at a lot of improvs. No quarterback can improv or ad-lib better than Randall Cunningham. He knew he had Sam Shade man-to-man on the outside here. There's Shade, and there's Warren. Shade sees the fumble right there, and Warren didn't see the fumble, so he kept running. Randall knew he had the matchup he wanted, and when he saw him wide open, threw him a perfect pass.
Very Cornhusker.
Jackie Harris, the tight end, and the fullback.
Randall Cunningham is only going to drop back about 2 yards, but this offensive line does a super job. Solomon Page and Stepnoski right up front there. But on the outside, Eric Williams is going to be in a great battle all night long with Marco Coleman.